Hey, everybody, welcome back to Frank Presents the Play Call. We recorded a little late today, but it's Sunday. We're blessed and highly favored, joined with the team. Bree, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I am great. Duty yesterday, but I'm good. I'm here. Nikki just touched down yesterday. Take time out today. She fly out tomorrow again. Somebody traveling. Nikki, how you doing?
I know. I'm getting the miles.
Yes. So that working.
Yes, I'm doing well. You know, always. And then today's my baby's birthday, baby.
Happy birthday, Josiah.
Happy birthday.
He said,
My
thank
baby,
you.
my birthday ain't until
Camera.
January.
Tell Joe to come.
What are you talking about?
You shut the fuck up. That shit was not even funny. It wasn't even funny.
That was funny.
All right, June, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. Super happy. I see Nikki racking up them per diem. Ain't no miles, that per diem. But super
Listen,
happy.
I'm about to do my travel thing today. The last week. But anyway, yes.
All right, Bree, well, you the host. Let's get it going.
All right. So first we're going to talk about former Bears running back Tariq Cohen, who was recovering from a torn ACL and MCL, suffers a torn Achilles during a workout. It was on Instagram Live when he tore his Achilles. It's sad because remember last year we talked about him tearing his ACL, and because it was on the off facility gym, they wouldn't pay for it. And he's back because he hasn't played since 2020.
So
and he's back.
He's gonna be out for the whole season now because of the Achilles, or?
Yeah, it was. If you guys go on Twitter, the video is on Twitter when it happens, and he just lays on the floor. He holds his leg and he's just screaming. And his trainer comes up to him and then stops the live. Yeah. And I just feel so bad because you just tore your ACL last year. We talked about it because it was on an all-facility gym. The Bears said we ain't paying for it.
Yep, because it wasn't our establishment.
Yep. And then you come back.
Some people have bad luck, yo. I just hate to say it. Some players have bad luck. It's like you have those players that get injured once, and after that, it's a constant downhill injury, you know? And I don't know if they rush back too soon or what, but then you got people like, you know, some of the injured ones never get injured again or never get injured, period. But it's like, man, it's such a streak of bad luck for him. I hope he heals. But that's 2 years off the game that his body should be fresh. And with rehabbing, maybe he can come back stronger. He was a shift running back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's just wild because next month will make a year since he tore his ACL. So a whole year after recovering, yeah,
that's sad, man. I feel bad for him, man, because, you know,
for your Achilles.
That's what they do for a living, you know what I mean? And now you can't go out there and play. And that takes a toll on you, I think, mentally. You know what I'm saying? That's all you do, and you can't do it.
The video is sad.
Yeah.
Like, just hurt.
I wouldn't want to watch that. That's.
But he was on, you know, like the green turf track, you know, working out, like no weights, no nothing. And he was like doing like little sprint drills. And then like.
He didn't stretch out or something? What the hell?
Probably did not. Probably didn't fully stretch out.
Yeah. Well.
That's crazy.
Why it's important to stretch and do yoga.
Just imagine a lineman, a 300-pound lineman out there doing yoga.
Yoga is what threw me off.
No, yoga relaxes your muscles.
I never did. You know what relaxes my muscles? This bed right here. I ain't never did a day yoga.
You're also not an athlete either, but okay.
So first of all, don't shoot my dreams, okay? Don't shoot my shit.
Saying you compare yourself to an athlete, but yes, okay.
Whatever.
All right. Anybody else have any takes on that, June?
No. I remember him being a good running back, and it's unfortunate that stuff happened. I mean, it sucks for him. It sucks for the Bears when eventually, when initially went down. And like you said, Frank, it just sucks. You know, you got I know it's a different sport, but it's just like old buddy, Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great player, unfortunate incident.
Can't stay healthy, bro. Can't. Come back from a knee injury, go out with an ankle injury. Like, what the hell? It's like, I don't know. It goes back to, I don't know if they taking care of themselves or they're rehabbing properly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I'm not there and I'm not an athlete, so I don't know, but I'm assuming you have that money, all these different trainers, the least you can do is follow the regimen, you know.
Yeah. But I also feel like a whole year after tearing your ACL, all that recovery, like he would be probably like 65%, 70% after a year.
I mean, maybe it's godsend. Maybe that's God's way of telling you, look, bro, you got to give it up, man. Go be a commentator or something. You know what I'm saying? Or coach in a high school or college. Or, you know, I don't know. It's just too much. Like, you know, sometimes we get signs and signals and stuff, and we don't pay attention to it. You know, like, look up, there's a wasp in your kitchen. But, you know, it's like one of those things that you don't pay attention to it. And then you know what you're doing. And next thing you know, when you're really hurt, God's looking at you like, yo, dummy, I told you.
Right.
4 different times. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think God called him a dummy.
Well, no, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My son.
Yeah, my son.
Sit your ass down.
Signs. All right, what else we got, Bree?
We could talk about it now. Michael Vick to play in a fan-controlled football league in Atlanta. Not the NFL, it's the fan-controlled football league. So.
Oh, so it's not like the NFL. He's just coming back to play.
So fan-controlled football league, right? My ex plays in a fan-controlled football league. So basically, it's live streamed on Twitch. And you can pick the plays that you want the team that you're rooting for to play. And they have to play. So basically, a bunch of people pick which play they want next, and the play that has majority of the votes. And then also there's people there. They hold it in Atlanta. All the games are in Atlanta. And then they also pick. So they tally up with which play has the most votes, and that's the play that the team has to do right then and there. So it's like the fans control what plays they play.
That's interesting, though. Because think about how many games we watch on a Sunday, and we watch a lot of games. And we
can control what plays come next.
We could pick the play that we want next. Like, run the ball. And we think we know better than the quarterback at the center, right?
It's an arena football league. There's 6 teams, I believe. Yeah, a couple of celebrities own. Todd Gurley just became an owner of one of the teams in the fan control football league.
Well, that's good.
Quavo owns a league. Marshawn Lynch owns a league. It's like celebrities. They're owners of these like leagues, and there's about 30 people on each team.
Well, that's good. I mean, I would like to see it. It might be interesting. Vic was always explosive. You know, I just always felt that they didn't develop him as a quarterback more than they could have. And he had a strong arm. And I think that if they could have did that, he probably would have had more longevity than what he had. But it'll be interesting.
He's going to be the oldest person out there because everyone there is like in their early 20s, straight out of college, who didn't make it to the league and stuff.
Look, you got T.O. T.O.'s freaking playing, what is it? Canadian football, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he out there still think he can play with the young boys in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But Terrell Owens can still run a 4.5.
Say what?
Okay. Terrell Owens can run a 4.4.
I know, but I'm saying I want him to come back and play, and I want to get popped one time and realize that you're almost 50 years old. Relax, sit down somewhere, and just let the young boys play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I guess he just woke up and said, you know what? I'm just gonna keep living, and that's exactly what just happened. I'm just gonna wake up, keep living. If I get hurt, I know it's my fault. But I'm gonna go out doing something I love.
You know, but
I mean,
it's not really. There's barely any tackling. It's kind of like a Pro Bowl where they really can't tackle each other either.
I don't know. It's cool. I mean, I would watch it like Frank said. I want to see what it's about.
I would just watch it because the fans get to pick the plays. That's what I want to know. You know, what they're thinking.
Oh gosh, man, can you imagine? 15 years down the line, the NFL says, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna let somebody pick a play."
That's what I'm saying.
God.
Imagine it. We're watching the game and we're thinking like, why they're not running the ball? They're not running, and we all vote to run the ball. You know, like, and then it feels horribly. Then we sitting back thinking that's why we're not coaches. We're just sitting watching it.
Right.
No, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Lil Wayne went at the beginning of the month to it, and he had his kids with him. And on his Instagram story, you see he's telling his kids, pick this play, like, and they lock in all the total amount of plays.
I find it interesting. That's what I do. I do find it interesting. I've never, I didn't know that that's what it was. And now knowing what it is very interesting to me because it's another way to get fans to watch. And it's smart because you get
live on Twitch. Yep. Live on Twitch. So
that's dope. And you ain't got to worry about paying no company or getting a channel to, it's Twitch, you know? So that's what's up.
All right. Colts plan to sign Nick Foles. So I wrote that a couple of days ago, but did they officially sign him yet? I'm not 100% sure.
It's still in the works.
It's still in the works.
That's interesting, though. That's very interesting.
I thought it was funny.
Because it goes back to what we talked about. Is Matt Ryan the guy or not? And by them bringing Nick Foles in, it's not. That's telling me that he's not the guy. They don't fully believe it.
You think Nick Foles is the guy?
I'll tell you like this, and this is something that we talked about before, and I still believe. Carson Wentz take off the masses. Matt Ryan take off the masses. Carson Wentz. You're still gonna have that backup of Nick Foles. So either way, you would have the same type of result.
2017, 2018 team.
No,
if you put Carson Wentz in the Commanders, I hate saying that. And you put Carson Wentz in the Colts. To me, you get the same outcome, except they're not going to mess with Carson Wentz anymore. They're going, you know what? Let's put him with Matt Ryan and see what he does.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a bad look though. I mean, it's a great backup.
As of yesterday, Colts and QB Nick Foles are still working on a deal. The sides will continue to talk, and the expectation is going to get done early next week.
I told you that anyway.
Well, I didn't know when they were going to do it.
Again, I don't. It's not. You know, it's interesting to me.
It's not to me.
I feel you should have brought a younger quarterback in. If you're going to bring an older quarterback in that's ready, probably past his prime, and just trying to find rejuvenation, a new team, bring somebody younger that could learn, you know, that can learn under him. And then that way you could transition in the next year or two to that young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Or hell, if you was going to do all that, why don't you go get Baker? You know what I mean? And just give him a shot. He's younger. You know what you're going to get. So.
But I don't think Baker will be anybody's backup, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of when at Matt Ryan, they could have went and got Baker, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's not the same division. It's a different division. Same conference division.
They're not going to do that.
Oh, we know.
Because if the league is dumb as hell and suspend Deshaun, then the Browns still got Baker.
But that's interesting, though, right? Because did we talk about this? He's not going to the Bahamas with so you know Deshaun's bringing the whole offense down. Baker said he's not attending, and a lot of people were like, "Well, I wouldn't be surprised." And me personally, I would have went.
Yeah, we talked about it. Mm-hmm.
I would have went, and only this is why. This is just me. You're a professional. You know what I'm saying? And we already know that the situation on the team isn't the best. You and the organization are not at the best, but that's not Deshaun's fault. Right. He's the player. It's not his fault that the team try to play you like, oh, you know, we want to keep you. We want to keep you. You know, I still love you. I still want to be with you. And then the other person becomes available like, oh, well, I'm going to go get that person. Bye.
Baker who?
Yeah, exactly. But to me, I would have win. I would go. I would be that guy. And I would show that I'm a professional at the end of the day. I love the sport of football. And to me, even though me and the organization ain't seeing eye to eye, this is bigger than me and the organization. This is me supporting another fellow teammate, a fellow brother in the sport. Like I said, you know, he knows the ins and outs of his wide receivers that are there. He can give him some tips, and it's up to Deshaun to take it or not. But, you know, like you said, if they suspend him, which that's another topic we could discuss. I don't know if I would want, I don't know, would Baker give it all, or would he go out there trying to prove something, saying, "Hey, listen, y'all basically dissed me. Y'all left me. I'm gonna show you what you."
Baker's gonna throw purpose pick six every time and be like, "Oops, my
that
bad."
would be so whack, man. That would be.
He gonna purposely throw some pick six and be like, "The wide receivers ran the wrong route. What you talking about?"
I mean, regardless. Well, no, that's not on him. Because I'm about to say, like, he wants to play for a team, and if you start doing shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. No, I just can't mess with that. I doubt he would do that. But I understand why he feels slated. Like,
yeah, they
can't treat people like that.
I mean, so let's take that comparison. How you think Matt Ryan feels? Like, yo, you just signed me, and now you're trying to bring Nick Foles in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but Nick Foles has always been a solid number 2. You get what I'm saying? Like, because we tried to get him as number 1, and that was, granted he got hurt, but then when he got back on the field, like, he was a solid number 2. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if Matt Ryan should feel some type of way, because Matt Ryan has always been QB1. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that's a little different. But that's why I say I don't think, how it was like, oh, Baker could have went there. Like, Baker would never go there as number 2. Now, if Baker went there and Matt Ryan was there, then Matt Ryan might feel some type of way. You know what I mean? But Nick Foles, he has never produced as a solid QB1, starting as the QB1.
Well, yeah, he did with Chip Kelly. He had that good year, and then after that, it went downhill.
He has never done great starting as a QB1. That's just how I see it. I think he's a solid. Some people are great football players, great quarterbacks, but their potential caps out at backup.
Well, their ceiling isn't high. That's what happens.
Right.
You see what they're going to be. And sometimes, we've said this before, other quarterbacks, when they come out the first year in the league, they sometimes do a lot better than when they would do the second and third year because there was no film.
Right.
It comes the second year and third year, and now teams are starting
to struggle
out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nick Foles just getting where he fit in. He got a Super Bowl ring. He don't care about nothing else.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest
type of way. But again, like I said, like June said, Matt Ryan and Carson about the same kind of players. So, and Nick Foles did well behind Carson. So,
but I think the biggest key to that acquisition will be that Nick Foles was successful under Frank Reich, and that connection that they had is probably something that they're probably banking on if worse comes to worse. So I think that's probably the best reason why to pick up Carson Wentz for that team.
You mean Nick Foles?
Yeah, Nick Foles. Shit, man. I'm thinking Super Bowl 52 when we beat the Patriots.
He's in the committee. Yes, thank you for bringing that up.
He did good in 2013.
Who did?
Nick Foles.
That's under Chip Kelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Was it under Chip Kelly?
That's the only time he went to the playoffs, right?
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went to the
starter, and then the following year went downhill.
Look it up, Frank. When did he play under Chip Kelly?
Don't matter. She's just a solid number 2.
Hold on. Let me get my stuff set up and do my research. I'm gonna hire Frankie to do research.
You should. He should be
the
tech guy. He should be the tech guy.
No way. I'm thinking Chip Kelly era. Ugh, gosh, that's like Detroit Lions feeling right there. No, because he did good the following year. When Alshon let the ball go through his hands and our playoffs came to the end against the Saints, and then he went and signed with the Jags. But during that Chip Kelly era, we had Bradford. Remember Bradford?
Yeah.
Gosh, we still have Vic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did.
Oh gosh, let's just leave
Vic
the
was
past in the
hurt.
past.
Vic was hurt, right?
Vic was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
That was
good
right
old days.
before I went to boot camp, so I want to say that was 2013.
I had Shady McCoy too, right?
Shady McCoy got traded to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson got released. Man,
I mean,
gosh, just brought back.
let's see. I'm trying to see, because now I'm curious to see his stats.
Who's that? Nick Foles?
Yeah. So in 12, he started 6 games. He was 1-5. But in 13, he went 8-2. Started 10 games. He had about almost 2,900 yards, 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. I think that was the year.
That's a nice ratio right there.
Yeah, that was the year. And I'm trying to find what the asterisk means. Hold on. And I want to say that was his year with Chip Kelly, man. I think that was the year. Did y'all go to the playoffs that year?
No, man. Mm-mm.
What year?
Because that started the downfall.
No, y'all did. Y'all went to the playoffs. Y'all lost it though. It was 0-1.
Hey Siri, what year?
But that was it. That was the best of Chip Kelly right there.
Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Siri, what year? Hey Siri, let me just Google it.
Yeah, that was 13, Bree, because in 17, he went 3-0 in the playoffs. That's when he beat the Patriots. And then in 18, they played 2 games. They were 1-1 in the playoffs. So yeah, it was 13. That was his best year.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
Who, Nick Foles' best year?
Yeah.
No way, bro. There's no way that them stats beat the stats when he served as the backup.
So in 17, right? That's when y'all won it, right?
Yes, they won it 2017 season.
And he only played 3 games in the regular season. And he won. He went 2-1. He only threw for 37 yards, 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Then he went to the playoffs and he went 3-0 in the playoffs. And he threw for 971 yards, 6 touchdowns to 1 interception in the playoffs.
And in 2013, he threw 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yep, 27.
Yep, 2013 to 2015 is when Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Eagles.
Yeah, bro. So that was his best year, man. I mean, again, going back to the original question, it's interesting. They're going to make the deal happen. And that's what when somebody said in one of the lines, when I read the article, it was saying Nick Foles getting reconnected with, those are nice, with Frank Wright and that connection all over again. So we'll see. Again, there's a lot of time left before football starts, and we all are expecting some different dynamics this year. So we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So June posted two topics or 2 questions, I would say. So his first one is Troy Aikman believes Commanders likely last opportunity for Carson Wentz to prove he's a franchise quarterback.
I agree.
I do agree.
I agree. I think that Carson Wentz is at a point right now where it's make or break, and that could impact his play as well. But I think that when you look at where you've been at and what happened in Philly, then you go down to the Colts and you have a disappointing ending to the season, to be honest. A lot of people had that team up high as a chance to make a run. And
to the last game of the season.
Yeah, on the last game of the season, you laid an egg. You didn't do what you had to do. So I think that now the Commanders giving him a shot. It's his last time, man. I mean, and it sucks because you might not have all the players or the best team, but now you got to go out there and make something out of nothing probably. And, a lot of people are thinking, well, the defense should be good, but I do believe it's his last chance. If after that, I think he'll be a backup if he even plays.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Bree.
I agree. That's it. I agree.
That's it?
Frank took all the words out of my mouth.
Well, I think
I'm about to say make or break, but yeah, this is a make or break season for Carson for sure.
Yep. I agree. And I also believe that it's the Colts' fault. right? It's the Colts' fault that they kind of put that, and it's gonna be crazy to say, hey, it's not the Colts' fault, it's his fault. But I think it's the Colts' fault because the Colts were in my opinion, on an uprise. The chemistry was okay, and they would have done nothing but build upon that chemistry this past year with Carson. So it would have kind of solidified this question with the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're putting him in a situation with the Commanders, a brand new organization, people he never played for with, and now he got to try a lot harder to solidify himself as a starting QB when he was already on that uprise with the Colts.
Yeah.
So I agree, but if he doesn't do well this year and they keep him for the following year, I think the same question or the same opinion will ponder into the second year because of that reason.
I mean, you know, his first year, 2017, was his best year, I think, ever. He went 11-2, 3296 yards. He had 33 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. I mean, the dude was killing it, you know, until he went and try to run that ball in for the touchdown, which I think he got injured on it. So after that, man, he hasn't been the same, man. He 5-6, 9-7, 3-8, 9-8. He threw 4,000 yards in 19, and he only had 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. But then in 2020, he had 15 interceptions to 16 touchdowns. So he was damn near 1 for 1, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think people are still holding on to that before he got hurt. Before he got hurt performance.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. I mean, I was holding on to it too. I thought, hey, he'd come back healthy, he'd be good. Nikki, you was going to say.
He could have, like everybody done said, the coach gave up on him way too premature. And it wasn't a good reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I couldn't even say it wasn't a good reason because I still don't understand the reason, right? Or what is the reason? Maybe he wouldn't have been the same post injury, but he clearly was making good strides. So I don't know. And then again, like I said, I'm sorry, and I repeat myself. You cut him to get somebody just like him, like
and older.
You didn't do better. You didn't climb up. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know.
We talked about this when he got cut, and we expressed how we felt they did give up on him too fast.
Yeah, way too soon.
I would love to have seen what he did the second year there. I also feel that there goes again about coaching and organizations not developing players, you know, not sticking by them to get them to do right. We constantly have these conversations, and it's like, when our team's going to learn that if you want to have a sustainment at winning, and you want to have certain things, then you have to have a quarterback that you're going to build with constantly, not just, you have one bad season, get rid of him, bring somebody else in. That arguably is older, that is this kind of same caliber, hasn't had a lot of success the last couple of years, you know, had weapons too. So it wasn't like he didn't have, when he got Kyle Pitts for him, Matt Ryan in Atlanta and stuff. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see, very interesting to see. And like I said, we all agree it is his last straw, I believe, and it's going to be hard for a team to bring him in.
So my question now is, let's say he played as equivalently well as he did with the Colts. That's a win for him?
If he has a winning season, you mean?
Yeah, because the Colts had a winning season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think so. But I don't think Ron Rivera would give up on him. I think that Ron Rivera is a smart enough head coach to know, okay, look, this first year is going to be what it is, but you got to show me something to stick with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
That they think he's going to be the long-term answer, like the franchise quarterback. No, I don't think so. I believe that they're probably looking at a 2 to 3 year span, depending on how he does. But if he's stuck by Cam Newton for all those years when Cam wasn't really being great, why not give Carson Wentz a chance? You know, you at least seen he had it in him at one point, and we've argued this before, where we said that him come back to Philly at the next year, probably rushing back to get out there was more of a mental thing. Psychologically, he wasn't right. You still had the guy that won the Super Bowl there in the shadows. They put a statue of the guy outside the stadium. They gave him a forever parking spot. They retired his number. So it's like, man, I'm competing a guy that just got you over the hump, and everybody forgot that I'm the one that went 11-2.
Right.
And the defense really stepped up those last 3 games to get him there and through the playoffs. So, again, we'll see. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely a win if he does well.
Howie repositions himself as a good GM as the Eagles become a bigger threat. However, is all the pressure on Jalen now?
I think the pressure's always been on him.
I think the pressure was more on the entire organization because of the rebuild, and now the pressure was on Howie at one point because of the lack of draft choices. I mean, in my opinion, Howie was going downhill. He was criticized a lot and shit. I mean, I was fed up with him. I was tired, especially when he went with Rager over Jefferson. I mean, good Lord. To this day, it haunts me. If I was Howie, it would have haunted me until this year with all the great moves that he made in the offseason. And then by acquiring the corner from New York, now you got receivers, you got a defense. You got your corners.
You
Honestly,
have a stronger defense. Don't forget, you have a stronger defense.
So right now, I think all the pressure is on Jalen Hurts, 100%, and it's not on Howie at all. Because if Jalen was to do bad and he didn't make that move for another quarterback, we still got 2 first-round draft picks that Howie's going to say that, and this is why we did what we did. So I think that it makes Howie look like a genius, and our team is set up. I mean, if our offense doesn't do well because of Jalen, they still have the first rounders moving into next year. That they can still be like, hey, we still got a solid team, another quarterback from the first rounder. That's what we're going to do. We could probably even move up and get a better quarterback if it doesn't work out. But I think he's going to do well. I got a lot of faith in the squad. So, but that was my opinion on that.
I think the pressure is going to be on Jalen. It's going to be make or break with the offense because your defense probably is one of the strongest defense on paper right now coming into this new season. And I do feel like with all the weapons you do have on defense and your draft was majority defense to build your defense up, and you guys made amazing, phenomenal draft picks. You got a nice new wide receiver as well. It is going to be on him, but I also feel like your defense, being how strong it's going to be coming into the season, can make up for what Jalen can't do.
I agree. But I still think that we need that good quarterback to manage. And we can't keep that because any defense, but regardless, if you put their defense out there on the field for the majority of the game, you're going to get tired. You're going to see that in the game. And that's what we're trying to prevent.
I think, like you guys said, I think this is his make or break year for him as well. He's a young quarterback coming in, and he has some success and he has some losses there, some downfalls. But I think a lot of teams now are starting to look at, I'm going to give you some time, and then if you can't provide, then we're going to find somebody else. And the good thing about the Eagles, they've been building, they're still building. So at some point, you have to become a piece of the puzzle that's going to fit and work, or it's going to get to the point where you're not what we need anymore. We got to find somebody else. So I don't understand why people just, if I don't answer, is because I'm not, I can't talk. I don't get it.
It's funny because I sit here, right? And I'm like, all right, what can I really say about Jalen? And I don't think he's terrible. But I don't know. I don't know if he's it either. I don't know. I think he's okay. And maybe
We'll see when he adjusts, you know, because a lot of that inaccurate. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, like, yeah, maybe with these new pieces, or he'll be able to adjust and flourish a little bit. I don't
know. Yeah, I mean, my biggest problem with him, what am I gonna say? I think my biggest problem was the fact that he was so inaccurate with his passes. That I think right there, if he's willing to, if he's able to adjust when it comes to that right there, that will be a huge improvement, especially with the receiving core.
Yeah. I also wonder what he's doing in the off season to better that. Is he going out and getting help? If he's seeking a quarterback coach? Is he? So I'm listening to the book on the Patriots, that better be feared. And it said when Brady at one point was struggling with his passes, he went and seeked help from a former pitcher, and that was helping him throw the ball better. And it just shows when a person wants to improve their skill set, or they want to enhance what they are lacking on, or they, just get better at it, they go out and get the help they need. And I think that's big. And when you see that in a player, you're at least making an effort to be better. And if he's not doing that, and I don't follow him to know, June, you're an Eagles fan, so you would know better than any of us if he was doing that. But all the players do it, man. I mean, every athlete, wide receivers, running backs, defensive linemen, middle linebackers, they get with other great players and find techniques that are going to work for them,
Yeah. And I mean, in the off season, well, a month ago, they were showing him in California doing his off season stuff, and before the whole AJ Brown thing happened, he was with AJ Brown at one point. So, I'm just hoping it pans out, man. I'm just hoping it pans out.
I mean, the good thing about your division in football is always up for grabs.
We're going to change that. We're going to change that, bro. We're rebuilding the division.
I think,
I
I was having this conversation with, I don't remember who. I do think I was having it with one of my future sailors who's a Cowboys fan. And I do think that the Eagles might be a little bit stronger than the Cowboys in their division this season.
Is it, you think?
I think we're not a little. I think we are.
You think it's because of the defense or the weapons they got?
Both.
So you
but majority of their defense.
So you're saying the whole team got better, but the defense improved?
Yes, their defense definitely improved. And that's what they were missing. They were missing that corner. They were missing a strong corner.
I believe that their defense was going to carry them, to be honest. Giants don't have a defense like they had before. Cowboys, they lost some people, and their offense, they might have a lot of offensive power. Yeah. But if you can't stop the other team, then you're going to constantly have to put up those yards,
What bothers me about the Cowboys, especially on their offense, is they got rid of arguably their best receiver and didn't replace him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't do, like, and I hate to say negative, but they went ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys didn't do anything. They didn't make no improvement moves.
Yeah. Again, we keep saying this. We're all excited to what's going to happen. And like I said, June, the NFC East is always up for grabs. You guys did have a stronghold for a while, but if you guys can take over, because the Giants ain't where they need to be, and Washington's still trying to figure it out, and Cowboys, they're just the Cowboys, man.
Cowboys your only competition, the Cowboys.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you had to pick a team in the East that's going to be something that you guys need to compete with, would be them.
Yeah, that's it.
We're talking about the divisional stuff, right? And you guys just made me look this up. So the Eagles and the Cowboys last year, right? We finished the Cowboys 12-5. You had to. You just made me do it. So the Cowboys ended up at 12-5, and the Eagles ended up at 9-8, right? Both, obviously a wild card and a playoff berth. And then you take the you take the North, which you have Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago. Green Bay ended up 13-4, Minnesota 8-9, right? Then you take Tampa, 13-4, New Orleans 9-8. So the only dominant division here that actually is a division which I wouldn't want to be a part of is the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
The West and every other division is pretty similar to the East. I mean the AFC the AFC South. No shade on the Jags, but I mean Tennessee and Indy, Cincinnati, the North, 10-7, Pittsburgh 9-7. I mean, that division is kind of up for grabs. So the East, so to speak, is definitely not the division where I would say you could come in there and be dominant. Because from looking at all these end of year stats, most of these divisions are pretty similar, if not a little less. But the West, and just 100%, don't want to be part of it.
In the NFC side, the West is a strong division. The division with the Chiefs and the Chargers and all that, that's the strong division on the AFC side of the house, And that's the beauty about what's happening in football is that there is a shift in the guard, right? These because a lot of these older heads are going out. Let's just be honest. When Brady left the East in the AFC, that left Buffalo open to come in and do what they had to do, even though they were having already they were building a good squad. So I can't say that, I think if Brady would have been there anyway, it still would have been a tough battle just because, Josh is dope and that defense was really playing well. So, so what you're saying, June, let me hear if I confirm this. So what you're saying is that the NFC least is not really the NFC least.
100%.
Okay.
And I could start, like I said, I could start here. I'm just going over these end of year stats from some of these teams. They wouldn't even want to be a part of us. Because I think, look, the West, the only team that didn't make it into the playoffs was Seattle, and they ended up with a 7-10 record, the same record as the Commanders.
Yeah.
The Commanders. You know what I'm saying? One more time, the Commanders. Shoot, where's Detroit? But that's it. The West is not the division to be a part of. Out of any division out there.
I just want y'all to know that we made him do it.
You definitely did. Because I felt some type of way. I'm like, hold on, man. You're gonna keep coming from my people, man.
He added something that we didn't look at, and he brought up a good point that there's really only one division in each conference that's the division you don't want to be in. And I think it's the West for both sides, right? So when you start looking at that, it just lets you know that it makes it harder for us when we start talking about these teams in the upcoming season of who's going to dominate. Those days of old are over where you knew it was going to be either Pittsburgh or the Ravens, the Patriots in the East, Colts when Peyton was there. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much that's changed that right now.
The older generation is all gone.
Yep.
Like they're all leaving. So it's like everything's up for grabs.
Yeah. Flip of the coin.
I agree.
But I think that's what made it interesting because this last season, it's like, bro, where that came from? You know what I mean?
Young, fresh, hungry people.
Yeah, and Joe said he's not done. Joe Burrow
Did you watch the podcast?
Not the whole thing, but I saw the takes, and he's very calm, very collected. He's just like, hey, even though we lost, I'm happy that we made it there. He even said, if I had protection just for a few more seconds, I could have got it to Jamar Chase. He was open. And I believe, and again, we talked about this after the Super Bowl. Do we think he's going to do great next year or that team is going to do great? We don't know. I think they improved their offensive line a little bit. The chemistry between him and Chase are there, but I feel by his answer and how his demeanor is, he's not
so humble.
which
He's so
is good.
humble.
Yeah. He's
And
not
you know,
satisfied.
they were trying to get him, and they were trying to get him to be like, you know, like, I feel some type of way that I didn't win the Super Bowl. They were trying to, he was like, no, like, I need to celebrate that I made it that far. Why would I have that type of mentality? Like, why would I have that mentality at all? And they were like, come on, Joe, you know you felt something. And he's like, no, like like he said, no, leave him alone.
No, but
you know, he plays the way like he talks, right?
Yeah.
Very calm, very poised. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not taken back by how, you know, he answered the question. That's how he plays.
Yeah.
No,
But Bob Minery, he tries to get people to, you know, he tries to get some type of controversy out of his podcast.
Right.
But Matthew gave him credit, you know, and he said it. He's like, yo, we had him down twice by 20 points. And this boy comes back and beats us every time. It's a testament to what he did. I would just want to see what they do with a better offensive line and a stronger defense. And it goes back to what June was saying, that while we're sitting here knocking the NFC East, you know, because it's an easy knock for us. It is a very easy knock to go to. There's a lot of divisions out there that are still up for grabs, and that where there's no real competition. You know, we don't know what the Steelers are going to look like under Trubisky. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what Mac Jones is going to look like in New England, his second year starting. You know, and Buffalo just getting better. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, Buffalo is definitely getting better.
Jets went and got some people. You know, some people are saying Jets could make a run to the playoffs at least. So you start looking at that, and Miami. You know, what if Tua could hit the right slants with Tyreek and not have to go deep and just go short and make something happen? And when he can't explode down, you know, throw down the field, there's so much there that there's so many variables unknown coming up this season that I'm actually looking forward to it. And I hope that it's more than what we bargained for. I hope that we're underselling it, and it's great because it'd be great for football, you know, especially with a lot of these older guys going out. Brady already having a mega deal with Fox. You know, the question says, okay, so now you're 45. Are you going to play next year, the year after, or not? Is this your last year? You know, you got a deal already. You got something set up. What are you going to do? You know, and you got to think, once Brady's gone, and all that's left is Rodgers. And he's honestly, in my opinion, he's just a few seasons away from going home too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with him. So
I'm just curious to see what them tickets are going to look like for Brady's last games, you know? Especially at the end of the season.
I think he has to say that. I think that
he has to, you know, announce it.
Totally off topic, but you know, it's not what but now we're just having football conversation. But I think the only way that makes the money is he has to say at the beginning of the season, hey, this is my last season.
This is it.
But I also feel that if he does say that, I mean, you got to watch out now. The Bucs might rally together and say, you know what, we got to play to win, you know? Because last year was their
I think that's already in their head, right? Because of the moves already being made for host football. Hey, Frankie. So I think that's already in their head. You know.
We lost you. We're losing you.
All right, I'll come back.
All right, we can hear you better now.
I'll go ahead and I'll come back. But I was about to say, like, you know, last season, it was his last season. You know what I'm saying? Last year was his last season until it wasn't. So I think mentally already, the idea that this might be it. I mean, even with the moves made for after football, this most likely will be his last. I think what is known does not have to be spoken. And I think it's the moves being made.
Yeah.
Makes it look like this is it. You know what I mean? And he can't, I mean, eventually, as great as he play, age does eventually start to pick up, you know, play its toll, you know? So hey, he might still be doing great or doing good, but not the same way. So I mean, this should be it. Shit.
All right.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this whole thing.
Look at this baby crying.
What baby
I can hear you.
Okay. Where did Frank go?
To the party.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking. I don't know. I just saw him get up though.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last topic we have is, hold on. All right. So this was tweeted earlier this week by Matt Ryan.
You know what? I wondered, were we going to ever talk about this? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By
So
who?
this was
Drew
Brees.
Brees.
Despite speculation from the media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. I may play football again. I may focus on business. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour,
God.
coach my kids, or all of the above. I'll let you know. So let's talk about it. First of all, I had to Google what pickleball is, and it looks so fun. It is such an old people sport.
So
I was like, I want to play pickleball.
what is pickleball?
So pickleball is basically like tennis, right? But you have like a smaller ball. You have like wooded paddles, and it's two people on each side of like the tennis court.
Yeah.
And you hit it, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an old people sport.
Okay. I mean, I could go last. Anybody want to go?
Do you think he might come back and play football?
No. I don't. And the reason why is the statement I just made about age, right? And I think his was declining at a faster rate. No, I don't. I think he doesn't want to be a Ben. And what I mean by that is it was evident it was time for Ben to go, like few years back. And I think it was becoming that way for Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Like so his last year, I felt like
What?
Okay, sorry. I think his last year, Drew Brees was the weakest link of the team. You get what I'm saying? His throws were, a little suspect. And once you as I'm gonna say the best player on the team, obviously there are other good ones, AK is a good one. Once your playing style and stuff like that get questionable, you're no longer adding to the team. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And I think towards the end, the last year, and I think he should have gone probably a year earlier. He was just the weakest link. So I don't see him coming back because I don't think he's going to be the old of Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't think he'll add on to any team that he'll go in. I think the face will look good. The name will look good. I don't think the performance will be as elite as it was post 2 years post retirement. So
yeah, no, I agree. And I also think he didn't do so well. I mean, for granted, they made it to the playoffs and the NFC championships, but he was playing so injured. Mm-hmm. And remember, his wife kept bringing it up. Oh, he has bruised ribs. So he didn't even, especially once you're older, you have to give your body that time to heal and adjust stuff. And I feel like that was his biggest mistake, is that he didn't have the time to let his body recover so he can still be playing. But yeah, I do think that it was his time in the 2020 season. So
I think what Brees is going through is what I think every person goes through when you do something so long and you start feeling like you miss it. A year out, he's watching the other teams play. He's looking at these quarterbacks struggle. He looks at his team went out and got another weapon. They've got some add-on pieces, and the defense was still pretty good. And he's thinking, well, man, I had a year off. I'm not bruising my ribs. My lungs are good. My arm feels better. What if I could come back and make a run? And I think that's just where he's at. Do I think he should come back? No, I don't think so. I think you, like you said, Nikki, some players start declining. You see the signs, you don't pay attention to it. It's a difference when you have the anomaly of a Brady where you're like, well, when is it going to be enough? Like, when are you going to stop? Because obviously it's not Father Time. It's when do you feel like you need to stop? But with Brees and a lot of these other quarterbacks, it's hard to give up. I'm not going to say it's an addiction, because I don't think he was in it for the fan and the fames. I think that what it was, the thrill of it, you get up, you play, you had the city in your back, you brought a championship. You would at one point discuss as probably one of the greatest of all time. You led the league in passing yards. You was consummate just doing what you was doing, and you gave it up because you knew it was time. And now you're like sitting there thinking, man, can I play? But I heard it was more in the NBC problem with him and the network, more than anything, as to why he didn't want to come back to NBC. But again, I don't think he should. I don't think so. I think he's done. I think that let Jameis come in, develop, give that young man a chance. I think that he's been patient, a professional. He rode the bench, he played behind you. He learned, went and got his eyes done and still trying. So I think, stay where you at, Drew. Go play pickle.
Listen, Drew, we will go play pickleball together and we'll go undefeated at this championship.
Yeah.
Go.
And look, Jameis isn't like Jameis was doing well last year,
Yeah.
The team was still okay, when he was playing. So it's not like he should feel like, oh my gosh, I left and they're really struggling. You know what I mean? Like they were okay until James got hurt. So he could do it.
I mean, do you guys think it's possible that he just feels like, hey, you said something about the team, that he feels like the team is doing better, is doing good without him, that he wants to come back and prove you still need me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's just that, like in words of Jameis Winston, I love football until I stopped playing football and I realized I love football.
Yeah.
Probably what it is, just
Yeah,
like
I think
when people kind of like in the military, when people retire and they're like, damn, I don't know what to do. Like I low-key miss it, so that's probably just what it is. It's just a feeling that he misses it. And he's just he probably just tweeted that just to get an uproar, just to get trended for a couple of days,
Yeah.
I think it'll mess up the whole chemistry that the Saints started to build life after Brees. It'll be dumb for the Saints to allow that to happen. Because right now
they'll go back to New Orleans.
That's what I was gonna say. Who's to say
because he said I might play football again. What if someone calls him and be like, hey, I need you. You good? You healthy?
Yeah, but he's still under contract with the Saints. I mean, if anything, he'll come back, he'll get traded. It'll be a benefit for New Orleans than him. And then they both win, except the team that gets him, because they're gonna be like, damn, what was we thinking?
You go to Houston.
Oh gosh. Stop. He ain't coming back. Go to Houston, I'll tell you that.
I mean, who's not to do, that's not a bad thing either.
To Houston? There's no way, bro. Hey, if he's trying to prove himself, bro, he's trying to go somewhere they're gonna protect those ribs and
that's facts.
And
that's
be
facts.
okay.
That's facts. That's
true.
Maybe the Steelers. I mean, it's not a bad thing. You guys got a great O-line. You can bring him in.
We have.
Is he better than Trubisky? Is he better than Trubisky?
And we have Kenny Pickett. I mean, hey.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
it's not a bad deal.
Listen, we'll take him if we give away Mason Rudolph because he's still on my roster.
Well, I tell you what, a healthy Brees is better than Trubisky.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. I still got Mason Rudolph on my roster, and I'm trying to figure out how I get him. Who goes sign these adoption paperwork to take him?
Oh
like,
Ain't nobody, girl.
Good luck. We still got Rager.
I got the papers. Like, I've been sending it. Like, I need somebody to adopt this kid. But we have a game. I came up with this game off the top of my head last night. So I picked 9 teams. All 4 of our teams are in there too. And we're going to rate these defenses 1 through 10 in our own opinion.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So the first one, we have Saints defense.
Can I know all of them before I rate them? Or we got to go as you show?
Just got to go as, you can, if you feel like more than one team has like a top 10 deep, like number 10, like, I'd say a defense is about a good 7.6.
Hold on, Bree, because I can't. Bree be coming up with these damn games. Hold on.
Who did they add to their defense this year?
I don't know.
Because they lost. All they did, they add Honey Badger. They lost old buddy, Jenkins.
But I'm also going off of how strong their defense was the last couple of seasons too. So it's a mid 7.6 to me. 7.4. I'll do 7.4.
Hold on.
I'm gonna say 8 only because the pass rush gets there. They're one of the few teams that could rush 4 and get to the quarterback. And their success, and you got to think they don't have an Aaron Donald. You know what I'm saying? They don't have somebody like that. They don't have the Von Miller with Aaron Donald. They're going out there with Cam Jordan and their team, and they basically wreak havoc on Tampa Bay every time they play them. You know what I'm saying? Except the playoffs, but it doesn't matter. I give them an 8. You know, as far as because of their pass rush, and I think when you have a good pass rush, it allows your corners to be better.
So the question I have, hold on, Bree, is all right. So he used Saints for the 8. For the remaining 9 teams, none of them can be 8.
No, you can rank them as high as you want. If you want to give someone the same rank, you can.
Okay.
So it's a power ranking, not so much as a.
Not like rank them 1 through 10.
Okay. Not the best defense to the least defense. Okay.
No, so we're not doing that.
You can have more than one strong defense.
No, well, that's what I asked. That's what I'm saying.
More than one strong defense. So I said 7.4. Frank said 8. June?
I'm going to go with a 7. I didn't think their defense was like all that. My dude Jalen is struggling. Jaden toasted him up last year. Just saying.
I know 7 is the number I have.
So you go 7 too, Nikki?
I mean, no. Yeah, 7.
Okay. Well, let June go first. I'll go.
What's it, Eagles?
Eagles.
I'm about to give them a whopping 7.
You better stop. What did you give the Saints?
A 7. I'll give them a 8.1.
Bree and these.
I like
points.
decimals. I'll give them an 8.1. June, Frank, Nikki.
I'm going with that 9.647.
All right, and I'm gonna write this shit down. 9.6.
I'm looking something up.
7.
And this is what I can only go by what they did. So last year,
because I know what I'm doing.
Frank is just going straight off the stats. I'm going off of how I remember how their seasons went.
Yeah, you know Frank do stats. Me too. I don't, but y'all know I don't do. I'm gonna give them. I mean,
On 7.1. 8.
Nah, 7.5.
7.5. Okay, so that's gonna be estimated up. So 8. Cool.
I did 8.1.
I give them a solid 7, and it's because they were 10 last year.
I was giving them a solid 7.
But I'm gonna give them a 7 because I think they improved their defense. So I want to see what they're gonna do this year.
Yeah, that's why I gave him that 0.5 because I
Yeah.
told you a solid 7 was where I was going.
Yeah. Next, Bree.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. You got to remember what they did, what they had, and the team that wasn't even supposed to make it to the wild card.
Yeah, but it's all right. Shit. I don't think the 49ers were supposed to make it. They made it even further. Anyway, the Rams.
So the 49ers pretty solid.
Okay, so we got the Rams.
I give them a 9.
See, I was going to give them a...
Really?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm giving them a 9, right? And it's because of what they did at the end of that Super Bowl.
No, Jalen was terrible.
I'll do a 9 too.
It's not because so, but take Jalen away. Here's what
no. You can't take him away. He's part of defense.
Well,
we're not doing individual players. We're doing the squad.
But listen,
the pressure that they had on Joe Burrow the last 5 minutes. Of
that defense. That front four is what won that game.
That was that line.
That line won that game. Let's just be clear. They when they saw that their quarterback couldn't keep up with Burrows, they said, "Oh no, we gotta win." Hey, Donald was like, "That ring, I need that ring," and that defense stepped up. Defense win championships. That reason I said take Jalen aside is because we know he got burnt. That's the secondary. You know, we know the issue there, but that front, hey, they would take it, grabbing his booty all night. Let me get it.
I wrote my number down. My number is a solid 8.
That's fair. But I give him a 9. I give him a 9.
I give him an 8.7.
Bree, 8.7. You know what? I'm sorry. I need to change June Eagle. No, I'm gonna leave it 7.5. Go ahead.
Go ahead, June.
I'm gonna give him a 7. They lost old buddy.
No, June, come on.
Hold on. They lost old buddy that helped them win that pressured Super Bowl.
True.
Right?
That's true.
And he went to the Bills. Other than that, without that help,
but
Aaron
Von Miller
Donald
wasn't
hold on.
Sorry.
He helped. He was the one because he provided that pressure of the other side. It gave Aaron Donald that other opening to do what he do.
That's fair.
And before Von Miller, Aaron Donald, he wasn't nowhere near that defensive player of the year that he was the previous year. And
he should have won it the previous year, but okay.
I'm just saying, you still got to defend it. So it didn't even look like he was the one who won it like the year before. It's just, to me, he didn't have that supporting cast. And because of that offense.
So what you gave him, a 7?
Okay. I gave him a 7 leading to this year. Yeah.
No, that's fair. Frank went high, but it's okay.
You can change it, Frank. I'm not going to be mad at you.
Yeah, because I was about to change the Eagles.
No.
Cowboys.
Oh.
A solid 5 for me.
I was gonna say 6.
5.42.
6.4.
I'm giving 5.
You're gonna give a 5. Frank gave a 5. I gave a 6.4. Nikki.
I'm gonna give him a solid 7. And I'm gonna tell you why I gave him a 7, right? Because y'all want to do individual bullshit.
No
one did anything individual. The line is not individual.
Yeah.
The line is
Bree.
9.
Okay.
8, 9 players out of 11.
Time out, Bree. Because this is exactly Frank said. I said nah. Because Jalen but I'm not talking about Jalen because the secondary was thing. So we broke down the damn defense. June just said Von Miller gone. So that
no,
come on now.
I stated why. I stated
I
why.
Understand. No, I'm fine with I'm not against what you said. I'm not even against Frank, but I'm about to tell you why. And I'm about to talk about particular players. So I said, since people talked about individual players and why they ranked the whole team because of how individual players play, I'm about to do the same. So I don't understand. Browns agreeing to the defensive end Javon Clooney, a 1-year deal. Breaking news. Okay. So anyway, I gave a 7 because I think their defense was solid. I like the fact that Diggs held it down with interception. What's old dude name? What's old dude name?
Michael.
Oh, it held it down. You get what I'm saying? So they did some things on the defensive side that for a few games that kept the game close or actually had them winning. You get what I'm saying? Defense put up points last year. So I think a solid 7 is fitting.
Frank, are you looking up what I'm looking up?
What, the teams they beat?
No, I'm looking at the most points allowed throughout the entire season.
Oh no, I was going to the stats against the team because she's fair. She had good points. She brought up Diggs, she brought up Micah. That's part of the defense. And we know Micah's a beast. You know what I'm saying? So
just like he just said Von Miller gone. So I just did the same thing.
But
hey. I think they're ranked number 20 or 20 or 21 on points allowed at the entire freaking
they're not even top 10 in yards allowed.
But guys, that's her rank.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not mad at her.
I'm not mad at you, Nikki, but you want to talk that shit, you know?
No, this is why Judah's doing it, because you rank them the same number you rank the Eagles. That's why he's looking at it.
Right. That's why I don't. But I had the Eagles 0.5 just because of the stuff they did add on. You get what I'm saying? My scores have been. The only person I gave more was the Rams, and obviously that's obvious why. But
all right, we have Seattle.
Oh no.
You go below 1.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
To be nice, I'm sorry. I'm a just even kill them. Just to be nice, I'm gonna give them 5.
Nah.
But they don't deserve
5. I'm giving the Cowboys higher because
4.3.
Actually, you know what though? Shit, man. In points allowed, the Seahawks were higher than the Eagles.
And you gave the Eagles a solid 7.
Yeah. And points allowed, they averaged 21.5 points per game. And the Eagles averaged 22.6. Wow, that's a big difference. But no, I if we go nah, I can't give them that high. I'm sorry. That defense hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, that's why I gave them a whopping 5.
2013, 2014.
Just to keep them on the board.
I give them.
And they lost though, buddy.
Bobby.
Bobby Wagner.
Yo, I'm trying to find them. They're damn near dead last for yards allowed per game. There's only 32 teams, right? So 30,
they struggled. They struggled.
30, 29. They were 28th in the league. The Chiefs were 8. They were motherfucking 27th in the league for yards allowed. The Chiefs.
I can see it though. I never thought that the Chiefs were that dominant on the defense.
I don't think so either.
What do you rank them, Frank and June?
I gave them 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them 4. Struggling 4. So like a 3.8.
I wrote down 4 already. Too bad.
A 1.
I wrote down 4.
Look.
So right for the Patriots, he's giving the Patriots a 1.
Yup. A 1.
Oh, Pats. Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna be nice, and I'm gonna give him a. Listen, I'm not even listen, and that was an embarrassing wild card game. I tell you that was so embarrassing. But
I might have to change the Seahawks because I'm about to give the Pats a 5.
I'm gonna give them a good 6, a solid 6.
No, fuck that. No, 1. One.
So the Patriots?
Frank put 1. I wrote 1.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I gave him a 1. For one, they just lost J.C. Jackson. He went somewhere else. Last year, they had good games, but they also had games where they showed their age. They were slow on defense. That's why Josh Allen's coming around the corner and getting first down in the whole game when they had to. And it's not the same Patriots defense before. McCourty at safety's older. They, in my opinion, they haven't done anything to improve. Yeah, you got Judon, and you have other people. You let go of Vanoy. You still got Hightower. I think Jamie Collins gone. These are old players. I give him a 1.
Yeah, I gave him a solid 5.
Thank you. You're nice, but I give him a 1. That's it. 1. And that's my team.
June,
Hey, I gave
what
him a
was your
5.5, and it's all based on one game when my man had 53 throwing yards and that defense did its thing. And because of that one game, I'm gonna give him a
throwing
struggling
yards?
5.5.
Throwing yards is not defense.
Hey, bro.
The defense kept them in the game. That's what I'm
And
trying to say. The offense did nothing, and it was all defense.
I'm being hard on my team, right? Because
Right, they were ranked 4th in points, right? 18.9 points per game, and 9th in yards and 4th in takeaways.
see, I'm looking at ESPN. They got them ranked the 2nd in points defense, 17 point, only behind Buffalo.
This is on Patriots.com.
Yeah, no, and on ESPN, they're number 4 in defense and yards allowed, and they're only under San Francisco by 0.8 yards. So not even a full yard. Now rushing, that's where they struck. No, rushing.
Yeah, 4th in points allowed.
Yeah, they only allowed. Hold on.
18.9.
No, rushing yards, they got 8 up. They were like at the bottom. But their passing yards allowed and points allowed and yards per game allowed, they were top 4. So I mean, I gave him a 1.
Why do you still give him a 1?
Because I didn't like what I see.
But no, Frank, hold on. You can't go stats on one team and then what you see on another. If you're gonna go stats the entire time. Okay, I'm going off of what I see.
Yeah, thanks.
So
it's my team.
You're going back and forth.
I could have said if I was giving them a 10, I'm giving them a 1. That's just
I know, but it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
You're discrediting them. And they was up there. They was top 5.
I'm hoping that Belichick hears this and decides to get the defense right.
Just text him and tell him to listen to this episode.
No, listen, I'll be honest with you. If we're gonna go off the stats, they'll be at 5 at least. And the reason I say that is because they dominated the teams that they should have dominated and struggled against the teams they had to struggle.
So 5 is the average. You gave them 5. June gave 5.5. Bree did 6. I did 5. So 5 is an average. That's good.
Yeah, I give him a 5.
All right. You got the Vikings. I just love this picture. This is probably one of the hardest defense interception pictures ever.
I don't pay attention to them. I don't know what number.
That's what's hard. I'm actually looking up their stats right now. Yards per game allowed, there were 30 in the league.
I give them a solid 4. I give them a 4.
So I don't know because I really don't follow them.
It's like they show up on the games that they don't really need to show up on, and that's non-divisional games.
Yeah, they're at the bottom barrel in almost every category except they are.
Are you drawing a smiley face, June?
Mm-hmm.
You just drew a smiley face on a picture.
I did. I wanted to try it out. I was like, oh my God, can I draw on here?
Yes, you did. You just drew a smiley face.
Oh, no.
Damn, I wish we could go back to the Eagles. Oh, no, where we at?
All right, let's go. What's the next one? Let me write this down.
I did 4.
You get okay. I give him a 4.
Dude, I'm clearing them for a reason.
What?
Don't be right on the pictures.
I was just trying to give you my rank. There it is.
All right, so you're doing a 5. Okay, you don't need all that scribbles.
All right. Sorry.
June does not listen.
Hey, you guys should write on it. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of like, when we're on when they're doing the ESPN thing, they write on the board.
Yeah, and they're writing. If you did X ran her outright, and if the quarterback went through the ball in between the numbers, he would have been good.
Hey, you know what, Frank?
Like
you gave us an idea. Next week we're gonna come up with a play.
Like this.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Yeah.
Run this route instead of this route.
Yeah. That's what Madden would do. And next thing you look, you see the whole bunch of lines and no players. It's like,
what was your rate?
A 5.
I give them a 4.
I like Minnesota. It's something about them. If they were able to tweak their miscues, they would be dominant.
This picture right here, though, is one of the cleanest pictures ever. I love it.
Which one?
this picture that the Minnesota, this defense picture.
Oh.
They all go
yeah.
zone after an interception.
Mm.
All right, next.
I'm like, what team
Brees.
is that? What high school team is that?
Well, high school team. Did you just disrespected the player?
So for
she's
some
so
reason, I don't know
dirty.
why I thought of like a
Did
high
you
school.
just disrespect the defensive player of the year?
So for some reason, when I looked at it, it looked like a high school or a
You
college.
just disrespect 22.
Girl, come on now, the
facts.
Steelers. Let me see. What am I gonna give the Steelers?
I give him a solid 7. I give him a 7.
I'm gonna give them an 8.
So I'm giving them a 7.5. June, what's your number?
I gotta go to 5.
All right.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay.
June said a 5.
I mean,
Inco.
I want to give him more. I mean, I'm not.
The reason why I give him an 8 is because with the broken offense we've had this season and basically no wide receivers to show up, like except for one. Our defense did held it down and did what they needed to do. I don't know. I think we have a solid defense, and it just got stronger too, in my opinion. So
I agree with you there. I think. I mean, besides old dude, I don't. Nothing stood out to me.
Highsmith definitely stood out a lot.
I think they were all right. I think it was okay. I think it was all right. I think that they improved. What happened?
Yeah, they did. I think Highsmith had an outstanding season, and he definitely helped TJ a lot, especially when it came to TJ getting them sacks. Highsmith definitely helped out a lot. Joe Hayden and Minka in the back, they definitely. Well, Minka, he wasn't. I think Hayden really outperformed as a safety back there. Our line, our defense, the only thing that was just so horrible is our rushing defense. We allowed these running backs to just rush through us. And it's because everyone was there either let's get the quarterback or let's get the wide receivers. And like you allowed the running backs to just run through the middle. And hopefully with Miles Jack on our defense, like being there right there in the middle, it will work. But I give my baby. I give my babies a solid 8 because of the fact that our offense wasn't up to par, and they are the reasons why we basically won the games that we weren't supposed to win. So, like the Tennessee game, we weren't supposed to win that game. And our defense came out and showed up. Hayden came out and got that interception. What's another game? The Bears game, we weren't really supposed to win that game till TJ got that sack. And the Seahawks game too. But then there was games that, TJ just outdid everybody. It was like the Browns when he bullied Baker on the field. That was Jacksonville.
Is that my Jags?
Shut up, June. I'll give them. That's Josh Allen in front. That's the only defense player. That's the only defense player I really know like that.
Oh boy.
I say. I give him a 4.5.
I give him
going into this year.
I give him a 5. I give him a 5 because that is struggling offense, but the defense, like against the Colts, showed up. Against Buffalo, showed up. They showed up when people didn't expect them to show up. So I give him a 5. It's not the defense of we talk about when they had Jalen and stuff, but I think a solid 5 is good. I think a good 5 and improving 5 at that. I just want to see what they're going to do this year. But last year they had a lot of games where they came up and whether, we can argue whether the offense didn't play well, but part of that is defense. The defense played great. They didn't play scared against some of these teams that, you would think they would have. They didn't. So I give them a 5, solid 5.
So I'm conflicted, right, with my number. And the reason why is this. I think I have years where I felt like our defense was the team. And then I have years where I felt like nobody came to play a game. Now, with that being said, even when I look at the days where, the games where I feel like nobody came to play for real, I felt like if I had to pick a side, I felt like our defense actually, they showed up. And I know that sounds stupid because I feel like both sides didn't come to play. So you know what? With that being said, I'm going to give my defense a solid 7.
OMG. I know
Now,
you know that.
Let me tell you why I'm gonna give it 7, because I think if I have to look at either side of the ball, I think our defense, not this year, our defense have laid some kind of, I hate to say consistency, because that's not true either, but even some games that we lost, our defense was still in the game. It was our offense that just couldn't do shit.
Like a
So
lawyer.
I'm giving us a 7.
Joan?
I'm giving them a struggling 4.8, and that's my second squad. It's just based on that consistency. I think the only game that I think they really dominated.
What happened, Frank? Hold on, Frank, can you breathe?
It's June. Just someone give a solid 4 point, whatever it was. And that's my second squad. You know what I'm saying?
I tuned him out.
Every time he said it, I just laugh because
I tuned him out.
It was a straight face too. Straight face.
Yeah. That's my second squad.
I give them a struggling 4.8, but that's my second squad. Like what?
Nikki, they're just trying to turn. They're trying to turn us against each other, Nikki. That's what they're doing right now.
No,
whatever, Joe.
It's your face.
Yeah, I gave us 7. Mm-hmm.
Hey, if they start the season the way they finished it, domination. You know what I'm saying? If they start the game the way that they dominated them Colts and ended their playoff game, all they needed was to win one game, domination. I think they're going to be better.
I agree with you there, but the thing, this is why I was conflicted, right? I agree that what you said, but I think what changed in that game was the offense. The offense started to do something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The what's his name? The Jags last year, remember, they turned the ball over so much that defense was on the field so much that it got them tired. So I think this year with the offensive additions is going to make a big difference.
Right. So that's why I say it's so hard, because sometimes, and I'm only rating my defense. I'm like, I don't think my defense is where it used to be. However, I think that they have, and that's why I said it was hard for me to use the word consistent, but the offense was so bad. That was so bad that, damn, like, shoot. Like, when it was a balanced game, the team looked decent. But when it was one side trying to carry the team, and that one side happens to be defense, sheesh. You're missing one, Bree.
That was it.
No, you said 10 teams.
9. It was 9.
Okay.
That was interesting, Bree.
It was.
That was very interesting. And I like your team selection because you didn't put everybody in there.
Yeah, no, I thought it was actually very good.
I made sure I added our 4 teams and then just random ones as well that can be good conversations.
I just want y'all to know that the least was the Seahawks. And the highest
was the Rams.
Was the Rams. Yep, happens to be the Rams.
Wait, Frank, I made you the host. Make me host one more time because we have to end this.
But you know what? It was actually between the Rams and the Eagles because of June bullshit one with the Eagles.
I gotta play before we leave. I gotta play my favorite video.
It's not letting me. It's not letting me make you host.
Why?
I don't.
Oh, I'm still the host.
Yeah, I'm
I thought I could. Okay.
That's like Brady going up to
Type
the
of way,
coach.
like,
Make
why?
me the starting quarterback right now. You are the
Yeah.
starting quarterback.
Give me one more down.
And look, she was offended. She's like, why? What you already hold the position.
Yeah, see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I bookmarks. I don't know why this video, it's just a funny video to end the podcast with, not to track. I don't know why that's doing that. Just gotta find it in my bookmarks.
Next up on my Mount Rushmore, no shock.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is probably one of the funniest videos.
Next up on my Mount Rushmore, no shock. Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady, Jr. Michael Jordan disguised as the corny dad next door.
What?
Tom Brady, ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yo, what a fool.
Cold-blooded killer who says, oh shucks, gee whiz, I just shot you dead. That's the essence of Brady. He doesn't look the part, but does he ever act the part? Actually, more clutch than Jordan, only because he had more opportunities to be clutch than Jordan had. I mean, think about this. In his first 6 Super Bowls, Tom Brady won them with game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime. First 6 out of 7. And by the way, Belichick, I'll go to my grave saying, cost Brady 2 more Super Bowls because Brady did what Brady always does in that first Eli Super Bowl. He drove him 70 yards for a touchdown. He hit Randy Moss for what I thought was the game winner with about 2 minutes left. 14-10 New England. And here came who? Eli Manning against Belichick's defense. He went 75 yards in 13 plays against Belichick's vaunted defense, the genius. Eli Manning pulled that off. Eli Manning, game winner. 17-14 Giants. That's not Brady's fault. Should have that one. And then, obviously, in the Philly Super Bowl, all Brady did was throw for a playoff record, not a Super Bowl, a playoff record, 505. Put up 33 on a top 5 defense, and Belichick's defense gave up 41 because inexplicably Belichick benched the guy who played the most snaps on defense during the regular season, Malcolm Butler. Don't get me started. Mysterious.
Don't get you started.
Seemed like
Damn.
to me, but don't get me started.
Jeez.
Tom Brady has proven to be the greatest leader in the history of sports. I respect Ray Lewis. I respect my man Shannon Sharp, my debate partner on Undisputed. Great leaders. But man, what Brady did at Tampa, turning it into Tampa Bay, the Succaneers, 7-9 the year before, and completely changed the culture during a pandemic on a torn MCL.
Sorry, that was funny.
43 at that point, and then 44 last year, 45 next year. Brady's coming off arguably his greatest regular season ever. And obviously, he tried to retire, and he just couldn't put out the fire because the fire just rages in him. Doesn't look the part, but it's raging under the surface. I keep reading reports that his wife is furious with him, and I don't blame her. I'm sorry, wife, kids, they're going to have to come second for another go-round. That's just the way he lives. He's not going to be happy unless he's that way. And you know and I know he will be even more dedicated next year to preparing body and mind and soul to go win another Super Bowl. I'm not betting against him. I always say,
I agree.
Never ever will I bet against that man. Even at age 45. He's Rushmore.
But did Tampa, okay, let me let you, okay.
Know what you was gonna say?
That is probably one of my favorite videos ever because he sounds like someone reading Brady's obituary.
Listen, but he's not saying nothing wrong.
He's
That is
not.
facts.
Everything he said there, everything he said is 100% correct. That 18-1 season, Brady scored, had to leave. Belichick's defense gave up that touchdown.
But we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, against the Eagles. And I forgot they were the top 3 team or top 5 team. I totally did. 505 yards. Beat his previous record from the year before. And Belichick's defense gave up 41 to Nick Foles. So,
no, what was funny was Tampa turned to Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. The second year.
That was funny as hell.
And you know what's sad is that as a fan, we can have this conversation, but you can't have this conversation with everybody, right? Because at the end, did they lose, they lost, right? And you can put the blame on anybody else. You always switch it around. But the truth is, what he said, everything he said was it was facts.
It was funny as hell.
Insane how true that was.
Three books I'm listening to. This is my third one now. 2 on Patriots, 1 on at football. And the only part of them books I cannot listen to that I cringe every single time
is the Giants Super Bowl.
Is that 18-1 season, because
2008 Super Bowl.
So they asked Brewski one time, is Belichick the greatest coach ever? He said no. And they asked him why. He said because of that Super Bowl. Rodney Harrison also said when they did his football life, how Junior Seau should have audibled out of that full-out blitz, and they didn't. He didn't call it. Rodney didn't change it in time. Plexico scored. And that's all Bill Belichick's coaching. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like when it comes down to that, and in the books they say it, Belichick said, it's my fault. We got out coached. Oh,
At least he's taking that the blame, you know what I'm saying? And he's not trying to hide from it.
Nah, Belichick's never gonna hide from it. I mean, look who we're talking about. The dude, he's been coaching since 75, longer than Bob been alive.
I think that's what makes a real coach too, man. Someone that could just take that understanding of saying, you know what, I screwed that up. And I know that.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I told Bree this in one of our conversations. Mike Shanahan himself, when asked about Spygate, he said, I wish I would have thought of it. He said it. And that's why these books, if you listen to, especially the one by Mike Florio, a lot of teams, a lot of grimy stuff. It just is when you're winning, people want to find a reason to take away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I hate to say it, when the Browns went 0-16, if they were cheating, nobody's gonna give a damn because you still lost.
Yep. That's real.
But listen, people, that was a funny video.
That was funny. He was so serious too. That's the part
the way he was
had me
reading
going.
it, the pauses he was taking, he was like, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Bree, wait a minute, Bree. I didn't know y'all going to Cincinnati first game, week 1.
We have week 1 schedule up.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, that's crazy. And Dallas is playing, but Tampa's playing Dallas at home in Dallas.
I'm going to that game. It's like December 18th or something like that.
You know what's so funny? Because
September 8th.
Week 1 last year,
Okay.
Dallas played Tampa in Tampa week 1.
Listen, this week, I'm looking at this right here. There's a lot of good games. New England and Miami, Tampa versus Dallas, Buffalo.
Detroit versus Philly.
Say what?
Buffalo Rams.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember last week when we recorded and June goes, I'm excited for Detroit and the Eagles because that's a practice game, a practice that counts. Remember he said that?
Exhibition. Yeah, that's right. Oh my! But now I'm looking at Baltimore at Jets. Okay, that's not. I mean, Jacks at Washington. That's good. That's a good little warm up. Wow, Green Bay at Minnesota, Kansas City at Arizona. Oh, that week one prediction is gonna be rough. Oh, we
did our two favorite that we're looking for.
Yeah. I remember that. I'm just saying, wow.
Because I picked forgot what I know. My one game I picked was the Steelers and Bengals because it's a brand new offense, and I want to see what they
get that Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Denver at Seattle, they were wrong for that Denver at Seattle one. That was wrong.
That's the very first game of the season, too. I'm like,
damn, bro. Can it be September already? Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Me and my mom are going to the Steelers and Jags preseason game in Jacksonville.
Listen,
I told her, I said, we're gonna be on the field right next to Mike, and I'm gonna be watched. Y'all gonna watch me. I'm gonna be mic'd up. I'm gonna have a headset on and everything, standing next to Mike Tomlin like this. I'm gonna have Mike Tomlin and I'm gonna have Brian Flores. That'll be in the middle.
Hey, you know what's crazy is that June's gonna be retired.
Thank
season starts.
I told June to go to that game. I said, June, and he said, let's go. But me and my mom, I'm taking my mom for her birthday because her birthday is the 23rd.
Go, I'll buy her shots and everything.
Yo, so listen,
We're gonna be on the field, so I don't know where you're gonna be at. We're gonna be on the field, mic'd up.
I was on the field for the game last time.
Yeah, you were. I forgot. But you're gonna be on the Jags side. You're gonna be on Pittsburgh side.
Behind Doug, you know what I'm saying? My dude,
Doug. I'm
to take his second squad. His second squad.
Yeah, he said his second squad.
Doug.
Look, I would be mic'd up.
Nikki, what you at the mall?
Yeah, she's. I think she's trying to get something for Josiah, but she's really at Victoria's Secret. I don't understand what she's getting there.
I went to exchange some stuff I bought myself. Thank you, Frank, for putting out to America. Now I'm at Victoria's Secret.
You can't see the pink sign behind you where you were standing. I mean,
remember, these are video.
America
podcasts.
be minding their business. But America minds their business.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Anyway, let's close up because we need to we almost on 2 hours, bro. That's crazy.
Victoria, don't tell nobody.
All right, great episode. Happy to do this with you guys. Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you stretch and do yoga. That's what you gotta do. Make sure you stretch. Stay positive, stay happy, and yeah, that's all I have.
Hey, another good.
Happy birthday, Josiah.
Yeah, happy birthday, Josiah. Another good episode. Good topics. I like the game with the ranking defense. That was pretty dope. Until next week.
America. It's always a pleasure being on here. With the folks and with y'all. So y'all stay blessed. Yes, today's my baby's birthday, so I gotta do something for him. And I guess the next week. Love. God bless.
See you next week. Have fun.
Later.